It is Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Welcome back to another edition of Baseball Today. And yes, C. Rosie is still out gallivanting around town. Lord knows what he's doing. Actually, we do know what he was doing. He was calling the Cleveland Browns preseason game again. But in his place, we got the one, the only, Joez McFly of Pinstripe Strong. Joez, what's up, my man?
What is going on? Thank you for having me. This is Trevor Plouffe. Got
We
the
love
Who's
having you on here. We get that East Coast bias. We love the coastal bias on this show. We're going to talk about your Yankees. We're going to talk about a bunch of good baseball that went on this weekend and some big series coming up this week. Let's start though, Joe's, with the
Yes.
Little League World Series game from last night where the Orioles took down the Red Sox 5-3. Forget about the game. There was all sorts of cool stuff going on pre-game. There was Adley Rutschman trading signatures with players, a bunch of the dudes, including Alex Cora, sliding down the hill on the cardboard, and even Odor played rock, paper, scissors with fans between innings. So my question to you, Joes, is when you were young, did
Yes.
you ever get to meet any big leaguers? And then my follow-up to that is, did you dream of playing in the Little League World Series like I did?
I did dream of playing in the Little League World Series. However, my Little League squad, like you got to be like a good Little League squad to make it there, man. Like you got to be really good. So those kids are pretty dope. So we never got there. We were beat. I think if you remember the name Danny Almonte.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
So you're
Wait, wait,
ready.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on a second. You played against Danny Almonte.
I mean, he was in, like um he was like the team that ended up going to the Little League World Series. So we weren't competing with that. And then and then everybody, not only our team, but once every other Little League team found out about Daniel Monte, people were like upset, really upset.
Yeah, for people who don't know who Danny Almonte is, he was a left-handed pitcher out of New York, and he just took the Little League World Series by storm. He got everybody out, basically. Like, nobody can touch this guy. It ended up being that he was over age for
Yeah,
Little League. So that kind of obviously
that
takes the
messed up.
shine off of him. But I'll never forget Danny Almonte and what he did, even
Yeah.
though now we know it wasn't exactly legit. Did you ever meet any big leaguers growing up?
I growing up, yes, and it was the old Yankee Stadium and I used to go and I used to bike ride from my house to Yankee Stadium all the time. I didn't have enough money for tickets, but I would bike ride there. There used to be a walkway that would go from the player parking lot over into Yankee Stadium, and then that's where you would meet the players. They would give you autographs. I met Bernie Williams that way. I met Tino Martinez, and Jeter had a Jaguar around that time. I remember seeing him pull
Ooh,
in.
a Jag?
He had a Jag around that time, and then he would pull in. He had the shades on, so it was pretty dope. I used to love that.
That's really cool. I think that when baseball does stuff like this, like the Little League World Series game, you can even throw the Field of Dreams game into that. It's a special night, and it really encapsulates what baseball is all about. You see the big leaguers going down the hill, talking with the Little League guys, and it's just like it's a game, and like you kind of have to remember that at some fundamental level when you're playing in the big leagues, that this is just a game and you do have to have fun playing it, because if you're stressing out there, it's going to show up in your play. And I know it gets hard to do that. Like the business side creeps in quite a bit in the big leagues. But if you can find a way, like Mateo does on the Orioles, just play the game like with reckless abandon and go have fun. I think that's very important for baseball to continue to do things like this Little League World Series game, like the Field of Dreams game. It was such a cool event.
Like you gotta like realize, like those kids that make it to Little League World Series, like that atmosphere, they usually, more times than not, they usually make it to either pro ball, or they'll make it to like college, or they usually continue with baseball. So it's kind of like, you want to grow the game, that's how you grow it. And so there's programs here in New York like Harlem RBI, and like there's
Mm-hmm.
different programs all over, and still you would love to see even more happening in the in the community. So that'll grow the game. It will. And I don't know, Trev, if you ever had to remind yourself, I'm playing a little kid's game. I'm just getting paid for it, or I'm playing a kid's game. That's it. So
you do have to remind yourself of that sometimes because it gets so. I mean, I was stressed every freaking year, Joe. I was on a 1-year deal every single year, so I was fighting for my life. But what I would do, and I think I've said this on the show before, and then we'll move on from this topic.
yeah.
But what I would do to remind myself to just chill out sometimes is I would look up at the moon sometimes, and Target Field just had this like excellent view of the moon, Joe's, and I would look up, I'd be like, fuck. The moon is beautiful tonight. And I would whistle over at Dozier at second base, and I would remind him, say, look at the moon, look at the moon. Look how beautiful that thing is. And it would like calm us down a little bit.
That's dope.
That's what I would do. I never got to play in a Little League World Series, by the way. I was in Pony Ball. We switched over. So I never got to live that dream. But man, it looked like a lot of fun. Happy for the guys that are there. And one day we need to go. Me and you, we should go out there.
I would love to. I mean, we got ice guys, so check them out. They're out there right now. They're having a blast. They're like movie stars out there.
Well, they're like little kids still.
They are. Yeah, they kind of are. They're little big.
In the nicest way possible.
Yes,
saying
the
that.
nicest way. Yes.
All right, let's move on to some baseball, bro.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Love baseball.
First question I got for you. The Mets take care of the Phillies. Oh, my goodness. A wild back and forth game capped off by Mark Connor's second homer of the game in the ninth. He was bat flipping all over the place. They go 14-5 against the Phillies this year. It's their best ever winning percentage against them in the 61 season they played against each other. My question to you, Joes, is will this carry over into the postseason, or is this just regular season? No one cares.
No, that's probably going to carry. I mean, that'll probably carry because the Mets are good. And not only that, but they have really good pitching too. But wow, that was a crazy bat flip. I was just looking at it right now. He threw it so high. Real high. So it's the confidence. Not only that, but it's the opposite, like that opposite feeling of, what the Mets feel against the Phillies is what the Phillies feel going up against the Mets. Like, oh man, how are we going to find a way to like lose to these guys now? So it's, I think it's like in there when it's 14-5, that's not like close, but I mean, anything can happen. It depends on where you catch them though. Like if you're in a short series, anything can happen, right? Because it's a short series. But other than that, I think the Mets are not like scared of the Phillies or anything like that.
I think the least amount of games that have to play against each other will be a 5 in the divisional round.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go the opposite. I don't think it does matter. There are some stats to point to your side. They went 9-0 in games started by Wheeler and Nola. That scares me a little bit. But in baseball, you're just one play away, one at bat away from changing all of that momentum. Uh-huh. And I think that it's going to take a lot for the Phillies to get over it because as we saw yesterday, I mean, Bohm hits a home run to put them ahead. They're up like 4-0. Mets battle back. And then Bohm hits another home run to put up 7-4. They battle back. And then freaking Kana does it. And then Segura hits the home run. And it's like they keep finding ways to battle back. But again, once you get into the postseason, and man, they're going to have now that I keep thinking about it, I might change my answer because thinking about going up against Scherzer and deGrom like that, the Phillies need to find a way. Yeah, they need to find something. They need to hang on to something that they've done well against the Phillies this year, against the Mets this year, which isn't a lot. And then you can kind of tell yourself it's a clean slate because we're in the playoffs. I think they can do it, but they got to figure something else out because what they've been doing so far obviously has not worked for them this year.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. When you're facing that, the thing is that the Mets have beat them in so many different ways.
Yes,
so it's like they beat their pen, they beat their starters. It's like it kind of sucks. And then they lost. The Phillies also lost. They lost
Knebel. They lost Sir Anthony Dominguez for a short time.
That's a little tough too. So,
and like you said, they kind of hit one off of Robertson too. So now like you've kind of done it, like you said, against the starters and the bullpen, you put up runs, you got guys that can just shut you out too. So It's going to be difficult. I think the Phillies can do it. If we get into a clean slate, I think that's my main point, I guess, in all of this is when you get into the playoffs, clean slate, everybody knows that batting average during the season doesn't matter. Your numbers during the season don't matter because it's all about what happens in the playoffs. Maybe I'm just trying to fire my Phillies up right now. I don't know.
Consistent. He has not, if you're a Philly fan, he has not jumped off of the Philly bandwagon all year. He's been trying, like, sometimes he tries to convince himself, like, should I hop off of the Phillies now? And then the Phillies will do something. He's like, I'm back. So that's you all year. Every time I'm here on Baseball Today, you're always like teetering on like, should I quit on? No.
Hey, remember, Harper is coming back too.
Yeah. Yes.
And he could be the difference maker in the playoffs. This episode of Baseball Today is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Guess what? People, college football is back. It's time to enjoy the tradition, the fun, and the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. And to celebrate this best time of the year, right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets instantly, win or lose that bet. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code JOHNBOY. You bet just $5 on any college football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code JOHNBOY only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age does vary by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. It's one per customer, minimum $5 deposit and wager. The $200 issued as 8 $25 free bets. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, promo code JOHNBOY. We're going to keep it in New York because people love when we do that. They love when we talk about New York baseball on this show.
Yeah,
the Mets are headed to the Bronx tonight to take on your Yanks. We got Scherzer and deGrom lined up against Herman and Montas. Who do you feel the Yanks have a better shot to pull off a win against? Scherzer or deGrom?
I don't know. I mean, like, it's a little tough, man. The thing is that, my Yanks, I'm supposed to be going to both games. So I might either be very happy or very sad both games, or maybe you'll split the baby. I don't know. That's kind of like what I'm hoping for there. But I think that weirdly enough, I would say possibly Scherzer, just because, deGrom is, I don't know. I have like this thing for deGrom. Like, I love deGrom. Like, ever since he came up, everybody was on the Matt Harvey train and all of that stuff when he came up. I was like, when he first came up, his first start, I believe, was against the Yankees. And I remember that start. I'm like, I like this kid. I don't know. There's something about him. I really like him. And deGrom's just nasty, man. Like, he's just, what is he averaging in strikeouts since he's come up? It's been like 10, like.
He's filthy.
He's been filthy. Not that I'm saying, and this is no disrespect to Scherzer. I mean, the Scherzer beat the Yanks last time, but I'm just talking about like squeaking a victory.
Okay.
Oh, maybe like, I don't know.
I was going to tell you, last time Scherzer faced the Yankees, he went 7-shutty against you.
Yeah.
On July 27th. I know the Yankees haven't been playing their best ball.
There's been a lot of shutty.
Been a lot of shutty against the Yankees. My answer to this question is I don't think they win either of these games right now. Herman, Montas both have to show me something. deGrom and Scherzer have been lights out. Robbie Sirocco just put in our chat 10.8 Ks per 9. I think he could probably do better than that, to be honest with you. Yeah. This is going to come down to which one of Herman and Montas gives you the better chance. I'm not really sure either of them does right now. Montas has to show me he can do it in New York. And the way the Mets are coming into this series so hot.
They are hot.
Maybe they wasted it all yesterday, Joes. Maybe they wasted it all yesterday.
Baseball is so weird because the graphic that was shown, and mind you, I haven't had a good time in recent. What are the Yankees have like a total of 5 wins in August or something like that?
It ain't good.
It ain't good. And it's not fun, especially somebody that's like me, that's a Yankee content creator, but I'm here. Baseball's so funny. Anytime you stack too much on one side, the opposite can sometimes happen. Where I seen this graphic where it was like, oh, look at the next 3 games for the Yanks: Manoah, Scherzer, deGrom, and I'm like, okay, well, they just beat Manoah, and they beat the Blue Jays there. They didn't get swept. I guess that's some sort of accomplishment. And then now you're still at home. The place is going to be packed. Let's see what happens, and maybe you could squeak a win and get a little winning streak going on. But I mean, the Mets are looking really good right now.
All right, Robbie just put back in the chat. That was career Ks per 9 that I just gave out. His actual Ks per 9 this year is 14.3, which makes more sense to me because, like you said, he's been striking out a shit ton of people since he's been back. Yes. You mentioned Manoah, and we know there was a little Manoah. He went up and in on Judge. He hit Judge on the pad, right? The elbow pad.
Yes.
So I think, and Judge looked at him. He's like, open base. Did you do it on purpose? I think he wasn't that mad because it got him on the pad. If that actually hits you, something happens in your body and you just get a little bit more pissed off. So Judge was happy, or not happy, but he was okay. They went and exchanged a little bit of words, him and Manoah. Everything was fine. But Garrett Cole gets off the bench, goes nuts, hold me back. And then after the game, Robbie, do you got the Manoah sound clip ready? This is what he had to say.
I think if Garrett wants to do something, he can walk past the Audi sign next time.
If Garrett wants to do something, he can walk past the Audi sign next time. What do you feel about this?
First of all, that's cringe. That's number one.
Hey, what's the Audi sign?
I didn't even know what the hell that was until.
Is that on the grass? Is there an Audi sign?
I didn't even know. I'm like, what are you talking about? What Audi? And then I found out it's the one on the field. I'm like, bro, why would you wait? First of all, you were more worried about, apologizing to Judge, and I'm sorry. You went all the way to first base, basically, to go apologize to him. If you had a problem with Garrett Cole, he was screaming at you right on the field. Why didn't you walk his way, my guy, and tell him, hey, come over here. Like, I'm here for you. Like, why didn't you do that? Why are you going to wait until you get to the media to then talk and then say, next time, come past the Audi sign? Last time Severino called you out, you did nothing about that. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, don't, I don't know. That annoyed me because don't try to push this tough guy bravado. If he would have said it, maybe tongue in cheek, but he was dead serious about the Audi sign. And that's kind of line of demarcation. Stop.
It sounds like he had that one in the chamber. Like he was ready to throw that out there as soon as the press conference started.
Yes.
It's, to me, man, it's just another example of starting pitchers just need to chill out, dude. Because what's going to happen in this whole situation is, say this continues to carry over, the hitters, Joes, are the ones that are going to have to pay for it. Starting pitchers never have to pay for it. Even if they got in a brawl, they would just be held back, and there'll be a bunch of position players out there anyway. The bullpen jogs in.
Yeah.
And does nothing. The starting pitchers are all in shoes. They don't do anything. It's the position players that have to deal with all this drama. So I'm going to tell both these guys, chill out. Go play the game on the field. Don't worry about the Audi sign. Neither of you are fighters. You're freaking pitchers. Go pitch the ball and let's play, man. We want to see you guys go at it on the field. I don't want to see Manoah and Garrett Cole in a fist fight because guess what? It'd probably be boring.
It's a slap.
Okay? A slap fest. What I want to see is Manoah and Cole facing off because that's what you guys do well is pitch the freaking ball. We don't need to fight, dude. This ain't MMA. This is baseball. Let's go settle it on the field. That's all, man.
On the other side of the coin, I mean, if you want to talk about maybe something that could the Yankees are also looking for something to galvanize.
Oh, you need a moment? You guys need a moment?
If you're going to, right now you're going through a stretch. You got Aaron Boone slapping tables. It's a lot of stuff. If you really want, a brawl, I'm not saying that you have to do one or you should fabricate one, but if something happens and you guys want to, you kind of feel like it's us against the world, every single person is getting booed in Yankee Stadium. The commercials are getting booed in Yankee Stadium. Everything is getting booed. So, if you feel like, it's us against the world, and at this point, if we got to go our 26 against yours and then have a nice brawl and nobody gets hurt, then you know what? If that galvanizes the team, so be it. But just don't get hurt and don't get suspended long term. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Enough about the Yankees and the Mets. My gosh, we're going to get our fill of it the next 2 days, people.
Yes.
Happy for the Subway Series. Let's move on. Question number 3. Adley Rutschman, stud. He's going off since the All-Star break, Joe. He's got a 326 batting average, a 466 on base percentage, a 994 OPS. Is there any chance that he catches Julio Rodriguez in the AL Rookie of the Year voting? Right now, Julio's got a 4.4 WAR. Rutschman has a 3.4 WAR in much less at bats. What do you think?
I think he can. First of all, being on the East Coast, I feel like makes you already a lot easier to watch, and more people will. I mean, this is not voted on by fans, but I just think that he's gonna get, he's gonna get more notoriety. The Orioles literally since like May something have like the best record in the AL East, which is crazy. And I seen this scary graphic for Adley. He's so good. Where I seen like when he first came up, swings out of the strike zone, and right now is so minute. He's so disciplined at the plate. He's so good. That kid is so good. So he's playing free and easy. The Orioles are, they're beating teams. They're putting runs up all the time. I think it's a possibility. I can see that.
I think it's a possibility as well. Right now, Vegas has Julio still as a minus 375 favorite. Rutschman's the only one close to him at plus 300. I think Julio still probably gets the nod just because he does everything on the baseball field, including run the bases. Right now, he's still got 23 stolen bases. I think that kind of separates him. They both play premium defensive positions. I think if you look at what Adley's doing offensively, it kind of outshines what Julio does, especially coming from the catcher's position.
That's the thing. You played with an offensive catcher, Trey.
It helps a lineup so much because usually that is a black hole of offense behind the dish, and Rutschman can play D too, so that he's doing it. I think he can catch him. I don't know if Julio just got too much of a head start right now.
And he had the home run derby. He had
some moments.
Yeah, he had that, and then he got hurt a little bit, but then came back, and then that's good. But
both these guys
catch him as possible that he can.
He's the only one that can catch him, and both these guys are incredible players. To your point about Adley getting the ball in the strike zone, for a young guy, he's 24 years old, still young, not as young as Julio, but right now he's got 41 walks and 54 strikeouts. So, I mean, he's closing in on that 1-to-1 ratio, which is like the gold standard. And to me, that's probably the most impressive part of what Adley's been able to do. And just kind of look at the record of the Orioles with Adley and without Adley. So it's going to be close. I think Julio still wins it. But definitely if Julio falls off and Adley keeps catching fire, there's a possibility.
Do you think, real quick, do you think that him being in the division, Rutschman being in a division that basically, 4 out of the 5 teams are over 500. The last place team, which is the Red Sox, is 2 games under 500. Do you think that could play into it as well? The fact that he's doing it in a division that everybody's good in.
It could. Really, I think what's going to separate is that Julio has just been up longer. 255 at bats for Rutschman, 409 for Julio. I think that helps him out a lot. I mean, if you really take the numbers and you just kind of quantify them and time serve, I think Rutschman's numbers are better, but Julio's been up longer. So I think that really works in his favor. And plus, like I said, those 23 stolen bases mean a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Give me some J-Rod, man. De lo mío.
Me too. All right. What's more impressive to you, Joes? The Braves going 5-2 against the Astros and the Mets. They won 3 of 4 from the Mets and then 2 of 3 from Houston. Or the Cardinals going from 4 games back of the Brewers on July 30th to now up 5 games on them. They're 15-3 in August.
The Braves, because Championship pedigree, man. I mean, in April, people were throwing dirt on their grave. People were saying it's over. And now, I mean, the Mets, for as well as they've played, for as hot as they've been, for now they finally get deGrom and Scherzer back. Like, they haven't been able to shake these guys, man. Like, they're trying to like bat them, like get them away from us. And the fact that they were able to do that against the Astros and then the Mets, I think that gives it, some good stuff. With Milwaukee, it feels like a little bit of, I kind of felt that St. Louis was going to be there, and now there's a lot of feel-good vibes over there, and kind of like the opposite with Milwaukee, and it feels like a lot of self-sabotage almost. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I kind of felt that even though I picked Milwaukee to win that division, I still felt like it was going to be close between them and
The Brewers.
and St. Louis. I thought it was going to be close between the Brewers and St. Louis.
Okay.
Well, after the Mets got off to their really big lead and the Braves were like double digits back, they fought all the way back. And they have some great vibes going on there. Ozuna aside, but like they just have some great vibes all over. So I love that.
The Braves are one of my favorite teams to watch in all the big leagues. I love the guys that are established there, the stars they have. Now they're bringing up Michael Harris II. They got Vaughn Grissom up there. He'll probably get paid sooner than later because he's been like a spark plug for them of sorts. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think it's so impressive what they've done. They're kind of middling around, all the first half, even after the All-Star break. They went 11-13 in July, Joes.
Right.
Like, not very good. Okay. 15-3 in August. They're on a run. Their schedule's been pretty soft, but doesn't matter. They're taking care of business. And every time I watch them play, it's like their guys are doing the job for them. It's Arenado shining on both sides of the ball. He made a bunch of great defensive plays in the series against the Diamondbacks.
Love him.
Goldschmidt is doing his thing. Those two guys are going to be there doing it for you. They also have some young guys, with Nootbaar and Gorman coming up and doing their thing. And then Pujols, my guy, is going off. 2 homers against Bumgarner in the baby blue jerseys. It just feels like, to me, like every championship team has like a story.
Yeah.
Something behind them. The Cardinals story to me this year is the old dudes getting it done. Waino, Pujols, Yachty, sure. But I'm putting Arenado and Goldschmidt into that category as well. I mean, these guys are veterans, and I've said it before on this show. There is not a higher baseball IQ team than the St. Louis Cardinals. And when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, and all these teams are fucking good, when you get down to it, everyone's good. These guys can draw from so many different experiences from without their career to help the young guys, to help themselves get through games. There's not a situation they haven't been a part of. And that's why July comes, they're 11-13. They don't care. They know that all they have to do is go on a run. And they've gone on the run. I'm super impressed with the Cardinals. They made some good deadline moves, getting Montgomery in there. Flaherty's coming back. Like,
they got
this team a lot.
They got a really good mix of different players on there. And I mean, when I watched them, it's kind of like you're gonna go through a gauntlet if you allow those first 2 hitters on or whatnot, and you have to face Goldschmidt and you have to face Arenado, and it's like it feels like automatic runs are coming. So I love them. I love their vibes as well. So some great stuff happening in St. Louis.
And their schedule coming up, Joes. I mean, they have 5 against Chicago. They play Atlanta for 3, but then it's Cincinnati, Chicago, the Nationals, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati again. It's like they have a chance right now to up 5 games. They might be up 8 games, 9 games in 2 weeks. And the Brew Crew is going to have to figure out something in that wild card, man. And I picked them to win the World Series. Come on, Brew Crew.
Yeah.
All right, last one. We're going to go quick on this one. We ran a little long on the YouTube version. Speaking of the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
They had some quotes coming out of the locker room on Sunday. Eric Lauer, most notably, He kind of sounded off on the front office. I'm going to read you guys. I'll read you the quote and then kind of react to it. All right, Joes?
Yeah.
Speaking of the moves at the deadline, there was a shock factor to it. Everybody was taken aback by it a little bit. As far as who we have in the clubhouse and what we have here, I don't think we're in any worse position to win as many games as we should. The only thing I can think of was from the top down, it seemed like there was a weird behind the scenes message that was sent that a lot of people didn't jive with. It didn't send us the right message from the upstairs, people trying to say, like, we're doing this and we're trying to put you guys in the best position and we're trying to win right now with you guys. It seemed more of a, we're trying to develop for the future. Are you okay with him saying this, or should this have been kept behind closed doors at this point of the season?
Like, I agree with what he's saying. He's not wrong. Like, I would, everybody knows that when they made that trade and they traded Hader, it was like, huh? What are you talking? What are you doing? But
he hasn't been good though.
Right.
And
there's another thing about it where it's like, one, at this point in time, there's nothing that you can do about that. So what is the point of talking about it? Let's try to move past it and just kind of focus on the guys that are in the room and just let's move forward, right? Let's positive vibes. So much of the game is mental, it's rarely like really physical because they're all peak athletes when it comes to at the end of the day. But if you already go into, I mean, you know this, Trev, if you go into a game or at bat or anything like that with already bad vibes, already feeling like, oh man, we could have done this, it's already in the back of your mind, bro. Like you already like failed mentally, like you're already expecting failure, So I don't really like that. The fact that he's saying it means that he's probably been talking to other guys about it. I think there should be some vets in the room that should stand up and be like, okay, guys, that's behind us. Let's not worry. Let's move forward. There's some sort of leadership because at this point, you're still talking about it. The trade deadline was like forever ago. That's not, baseball's every day. The calendar turns. The next day, there's a new game. Move forward. That's it.
I agree with you. This is too late in the season, too far past the deadline to be hashing it up. You got to focus on what's in front of you. You have a good enough team to get to the postseason, to make it very far in the postseason. I still believe that. So I don't love that this was said. Do I agree with it? Sure, I do. I know they supposedly, allegedly, were trying to move on all sorts of different fronts. It just didn't happen for them. But I've been in clubhouses where Joe's like, you need reinforcements. You need reinforcements, and everybody around you is getting reinforcements, and you don't. It brings you down a little bit. But like I said, you got to get past it, move on, and just figure a way to get it done.
Absolutely.
So, Brew Crew, to me, they kind of been an enigma all season long. Like, their offense has been a little bit better than everyone gives them credit for. Like, they still have the pitching. They just got to almost get out of their own way and just go play ball, because they're looking up now 5 games at the Central. They're still behind in the wild card. They're at a threat to not make the postseason, dude, which a month ago we couldn't even have fathomed that. So they got to get past it. I kind of wish he wouldn't have said it, to be honest with you.
I agree. Don't say that. Listen, at the end of the year, don't they pull every player and do like an interview with the front office, like an exit interview or something like that? A
little bit. Yeah, they'll do that.
Something like that. So talk about it then, or, when the season's over, hopefully you're the one hoisting the trophy. Then you could talk about it then, if you want to talk about it then. Oh, you're in the season. You're not getting Hader back, bro. Like, you're not like... like it's not happening, or you're not getting whoever, whatever it is that you wanted to acquire. So this is the guys. That's it. So figure it out.
Love it. That's going to do it for our YouTube portion of baseball today. We still got 30 minutes live on AMP. Download the AMP app. Use code baseball today. Check us out. We're there every Monday through Friday at 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern. We're going to that right now. For Joez McFly, filling in for C. Rose, and super producer Robbie Sirocco. This is Trevor Plouffe signing off on this Monday. We will see you tomorrow morning, again, 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. My people, we'll see you then.